Club here on Talksport 2. Harry Symeou has this nice, proud smile on his face right now. Look at you.
I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. It's been a while since I've been buzzing as well. I'm an Arsenal fan, remember?
And he's the one. Is he the answer? Is he the answer to your prayers?
Yeah, I think so. I like that. Nice pun. Yeah, Jesus is the answer to my prayers. No, I think it's a really, really good signing for Arsenal. It's a statement signing as well. It's going and getting someone from one of the top clubs who, you know, is very highly rated. We heard yesterday as well that there were as many as 3 clubs that tried to hijack that deal at the very late stages of it. So to know that Arsenal managed to get it over the line and convince him this was the right place is very encouraging.
What does it say about next season then, and the plans that Arsenal have in mind? I mean, surely it's got to be top 4. They can't miss this for another year. But do you think they can compete? Do you think they can challenge for the title somehow?
I don't think they can challenge for the title. I think that's a couple of steps too far. Yeah, I think Champions League football has to be the priority. And the great thing about next season is we've got 2 potential routes to achieve that. We can either do it via the top 4, and of course we're in the Europa League as well. And that's a tournament that we could go far in. You know, we've been far in it pretty much every time we've been in it, barring the one disaster exit to Olympiacos. We've always got to the latter stages. So I think we're really optimistic about that. Arsenal told us at the start of last season, Edu specifically sat down and gave an interview and said, you know, we're doing the heavy lifting now. We're doing a lot of recruitment. We're bringing in young players. We're trying to build a new core. But the next phase will be to go out and get experienced, quality players who can come in and impact today, not tomorrow. And that's exactly what Gabriel Jesus is. And on that basis, you have to trust them because they've done what they said they were going to do. And we've got a top striker on our hands. So
does it feel as an Arsenal fan the tide is turning? You know, things are starting to come good again?
I think there's never any guarantees in football. So you've got to be careful not to kind of get carried away. But they're doing what they said they were going to do, and that gives you encouragement that there is a plan and that they're going to execute that plan. Now, it might not work the way we want it to, but just to know that we're doing what we believe is the right thing as a football club, and we're not getting sucked into deals that don't make sense on the side because of the noise from everywhere else. You know, we didn't get suckered into going and signing a striker in January out of desperation, and that maybe not necessarily being the right thing for the club. We've got a plan, we're on that road, and we're sticking to it, and that gives me encouragement.
So what's Arteta's plan then for Gabriel Jesus? Where does he fit in to the squad?
He'll be the centre forward. He'll be the centre forward. There's been a lot of talk about where he's going to play over the last couple of weeks, and most of it has been completely unjust, in my opinion. You know, I've heard people saying that he doesn't want to play as a centre forward. He prefers to play from the right flank. I think Tim Vickery referenced the story from when Gabriel Jesus was 18 or 19 years old, which I don't think has all that much relevance to the man he is today. He's always been the bridesmaid at Manchester City, never the bride. Now is his opportunity to play in his preferred position. He sat down in front of the Arsenal cameras and gave an interview in which he clearly states, I'm a number 9. I'm here to score goals. That's what my role is. So I think it's very clear what his role will be under Mikel Arteta.
And knowing what he's capable of as well in this league, do you find that important and vital when it comes to Arsenal? Yeah,
I think it makes it less of a risk than any other transfer. You know, when you're bringing someone in from another league, you need that adaptation period. There still will be a settling in period because he's playing in a different team, under a different manager with different ideas and different players around him. But ultimately, I think we can have faith in the fact that he's done it in this league. He knows what it takes. He's not playing in such a strong team as he was at Manchester City. But I think that extra responsibility at the age of 25 now is exactly what he needs to go on to the next level.
I was looking at the pitch scum today, you know, up at that weird stand at the Emirates where you look like you're going to bungee jump off. Weird seeing him in red.
It does look a bit strange, I have to say. Yeah, but
pleasantly. Red.
It's pleasantly weird.
That'll come good, I'm sure. Okay, so there's been a lot of investment now from Mikel Arteta. What does that mean when it comes to the pressure? He has to perform this season. Yeah,
I think at a club like Arsenal, you're always under pressure. I think there's a huge fan base at Arsenal. Is a very vocal fan base, as people know. And I think that at the first sign of trouble, you will get those dissenting voices. That's just the nature of the club. I think the same can be said for any big club. The pressure is always there. But I think Mikel Arteta has had some serious investment now. He's been backed in not just bringing players in, but kicking players out as well, which has cost the club a lot of money. And maybe this is where we need to give our owners a little bit more credit than they get, because they could have quite easily said, no, you know, Aubameyang's on 350 grand a week. He's one of our prized assets. You cannot leave him out. You cannot leave Mesut Ozil out. You can't do it. And they've given him autonomy. They've said to him, the keys are yours. You go and do what you think is right. And between him and Edu, I think they're taking us in the right direction.
In terms of the transfer window, it's been a good one for Arsenal. It feels like they've been doing most business and it's looking positive for the Gunners.
Yeah, it is. I still think we need more. Obviously, William Saliba returns at centre-back, which is a big boost. He had a really impressive season in France last time out. We've got Marquinhos in, a young Brazilian wing. I don't know how much he'll feature initially. Fabio Vieira's come in, a really promising Portuguese attacking midfielder. And now Gabriel Jesus. Plus Matt Turner, we've signed a goalkeeper from a US international goalkeeper. So it feels like we're making moves, but I still think there's a couple of positions that we need to address before we'll be competitive.
What's your thoughts on Kieran Tierney? You know, looking forward to next season as well, just from the Scottish bias in me. His injuries, is that a major problem at the moment, or does it look like he's coming to the end of it?
Huge problem. It's a huge problem. I really like Kieran Tierney. I don't think when he's fully fit, there's more than one better left back in the Premier League, maybe Andy Robertson. Outside of that, I think when he's on form and he's fit, I think he's right up there. But the problem is he's never fit. And this has been an ongoing issue from the day he arrived at Arsenal.
It feels like a long time.
It's just breakdown after breakdown after breakdown. And they're not, a pulled hamstring, you're out for 3 or 4 weeks. They always seem to be long-term problems. And last season, I think we really suffered from having both of our fullbacks missing in the final weeks. To have that weakness on one side, maybe you can cope with it. Maybe you can shift people across, be a little bit more cautious in the way you approach. But when you've got both of them missing, it's a big blow. And he was a big blow for us last season.
Would you be looking to have backup in those positions
100%.
Because of those injuries?
Yeah, when I talk about Arsenal needing to do more, I think one of the positions we need to make sure that we've got cover for is left back. And that's why Lisandro Martinez is such an appealing prospect, because he'd add depth to our centre-back options, but he'd also provide cover for Kieran Tierney. And we're told he can play defensive midfield as well. So that versatility might be the right way of plugging that hole, as opposed to going and buying another left back who'll sit on the bench most weeks.
You can only feel sorry for players that are just so injury prone, and